now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. There was a tragic mass shooting that took place in Vaughan, Ontario, Canada. And in this incident, which took place at a Vaughan, Ontario, Canada condominium complex, your 73-year-old Francesco Villi allegedly shot and killed 3 men and 2 women and injured a 66-year-old woman in a mass shooting at the condominium complex over a dispute he was having with the condominium board. And as your Francesco Villi wound up having this dispute with the condominium board, he got so upset about not being heard by the condominium board, in his opinion, that he went out here and took out a semi-automatic weapon and went into 3 of the apartment units where many of the board members resided and wound up taking their lives. Now, the police see this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the behavior of the late Francesco Villi, who was shot and killed by police, it fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me that your Francesco Villi is one of these beta males who really did not know how to go out here and conflict resolve. And when it comes down to your beta males, many of them have a hard time being able to resolve conflicts because many beta males go out here and feel instead of critically think. Now, your Francesco Villi has been in a beef with his condominium board for several years, and as he's lived in this condominium unit on the first floor, he has alleged that electrical energy from the electrical room that is under his unit was causing him serious pain and suffering over the years. However, your Francesco Villi did not understand that the solution to his problem was basically going out here to search for another unit and then selling that unit. But because many beta males do not know how to go out here and conflict resolve as related to issues in their life, what they do is go into back and forths with individuals, and that's exactly what your Francesco Villi did with the members of his condo board, going out here and filing complaints, and then going out here and filing multiple lawsuits against the condominium complex. And as he went out here and filed a lawsuit against the condo board members, directors, and officers, alleging that they committed acts of crime and criminality from 2010 onwards, he then talked about how this caused 5 years of torment and torture as related to the unit issues with the electrical room below his unit. What happened was the case wound up getting thrown out in court. But the whole thing is, your Francesco Villi was simmering and seething in anger, and as he simmered and seethed in anger about not being able to get any resolution as related to the harm he believed that the electrical room was doing to him, this is what led to him getting more and more frustrated and upset because he couldn't solve a problem where the answer was basically staring him in the face. Now, this is a big problem with many beta males because many beta males are drama kings, and because they're drama kings, they're looking for a result that comes from being able to win an argument with people instead of going out here and taking an easier solution by walking away from a toxic situation. Now, your Francesco Villi basically could have easily solved this problem by realizing, hey, this unit isn't meeting my standards of living and it's not meeting my quality of life. So what he should have done was basically just put this unit on the market, pack up his stuff, and then go out here and buy another unit and then go move to that unit. That would have been the easy solution as related to dealing with the issues he was having as related to the electrical room under his unit. He didn't need to go out here talking about how the unit was improperly constructed and how everything was so-called defective. No, what you do is put a period at the end of things and let the next owner deal with that whole situation. It's no longer your problem at that point, because the only thing you can do as related to a defective condominium, as you see it, or a condominium that isn't meeting your standard of living, is to go out here and sell that unit and go find yourself a unit that meets your standard. Unfortunately, many beta males get so caught up in their feelings about the attention they're receiving as they're getting into a back and forth with another group of people that they don't really think about going out here and taking the best solution as related to things. No, they want to be right, and because the beta male wants to be right, what they do is go out here and continue going into the back and forth with people that they don't need to go out here in the back and forth with people. And as your Francesco Villi went out here and looked to go out here and continue in this back and forth, the condominium then took him to court, seeking an order to go out here and have him cease his threatening and abusive behavior. And they wanted him to stop making video recordings of board members and staff and posting it to his social media. And both sides, again, were going into back and forths. And things got so bad that in 2019, a judge told your Francesco Villi to stop making those recordings and stop going back and forth and stop making posts as related to the matter. And again, he refused to comply because that's what beta males do, because beta males are terrible at conflict resolution, because they get off on the attention that they're receiving from the back and forths. And things were really escalating as related to this situation with your Francesco Villi and the condominium board, and he kept violating the policies because that's what beta males do. Because again, beta males, they look to continue keeping the back and forth going, continue to keep the argument going, because they are in their feelings about being right. And because they're in their feelings about being right, they just do not know where the boundary is. And things had gotten so heated between your Francesco Villi and the condominium board, and the contempt he was showing for them, and he was violating court orders, that your Francesco Villi was approaching and harassing security guards, and security guards were quitting because of his out-of-control behavior. And multiple residents had filed complaints about this man and his out-of-control behavior, and things had gotten so bad between your Francesco Villi and his condo board that they wound up filing a lawsuit to go to court to evict him from his unit. And I believe your Francesco Villi, understanding that the evidence was practically overwhelming in his case as related to that eviction, this is what led to your seething and simmering Francesco Villi exploding in rage. And as he exploded in rage about the possibility of being evicted from this unit, that is what motivated him, I believe, to participate in this mass shooting, where he sought to get revenge against the members of the condo board for being able to go out here and get him evicted, because his behavior was just so out of pocket and so out of control that he was making life miserable for all of the members of that residence. And as he was making life miserable for all of the members of that residence, they basically wanted to go out here and get a penalty from the court to force him to sell his unit and vacate in 90 days. But he didn't want to vacate in 90 days because the days before he was supposed to go to court, that's when he decided to allegedly participate in this mass shooting and take the lives of 3 men and 2 women who were on the condo board, and injure another 66-year-old woman in his mass shooting. And again, this is the kind of behavior that beta males wind up participating in, because many times your beta males, again, they're not good critical thinkers, they're not good problem solvers, And because they get so emotional and caught up in their feelings about being right, they wind up going out here and escalating a situation into something worse than it needs to be. Because again, the easy solution for your Francesco Villi was just to just go out here and sell his unit, find another unit, and move to that unit where he could have peace in his golden years. Unfortunately, this man in his golden years wound up looking to make everybody miserable in his company because he did not know how to go out here and think critically or conflict resolve. Now, this man was a so-called builder of things for many years, and as a home builder, you would think that he would understand that, okay, but he could just go out here and build another home or someplace else. But when you have beta males who come from single mother households like your Francesco Villi came from, even in their old age, they remain dysfunctional. And because they were raised in a dysfunctional fashion, they go out here and look to destroy people's lives because they don't know how to go out here and be able to establish a life for themselves. And again, this man worked as a home builder for 40 years, but he looked to tear down other people's lives because he felt entitled to stay in a condo unit where everything wasn't meeting his standard. But the whole thing is, you're not entitled to stay someplace. If it does not meet your standard, then you go out here and find another place. And once you find that other place, you move to that place, because life is too short to let somebody else take away your peace like Francesco Villi did. And what he did was go out here and take away his own peace by looking to try to solve an unsolvable problem as related to this electrical room under his condo unit. Because if the condo unit, again, is not meeting your standards, then you just go out here and sell that unit and go out here and buy yourself another property. I mean, yeah, it might take a while for you to find another property, but I would rather just sell that property and call it a day, rent an apartment for a while, and then just go out here and find another unit. I know this man is in his later years, but it's better to go out here and move on than go out here and be carried away in a body bag. Because what this man did is how beta males go out here and solve problems. Many beta males take things to extremes because they do not know how to go out here and communicate with people due to the dysfunctional way they have been raised in single mother households, and because many of the times they see their mother conflict resolving by yelling and screaming and arguing and going back and forth. What they do is think that this is how people communicate, when arguing is a sign that communication is broken down, and going back and forth means things are not working out. Because when you are a critical thinker, you understand, okay, talking to someone means that you're getting your point across and you're getting things solved as related to the problem. And again, this man's problem was very simple to solve, but the whole thing was he didn't want to go out here and put in the work, which is another beta male trait. Beta males want somebody else to do things for them instead of understanding that if things are not meeting your standard, you go out here and move on, because this is how you keep your respect and keep your intangibles of manhood. But sadly, when you're dealing with a man in crisis, he does not know how to do these things. And because he doesn't know how to do these things, many of these residents, they have wound up losing their lives because this man did not know how to solve a problem. And again, this is what happens in all over the world when we have men who are not raised to know how to use their male life skills, male survival skills, critical thinking, ability to use logic and reason. When a man is not taught these things by a father, he grows up to become a man in crisis. And as that man grows to become an old man in crisis, he participates in the same dysfunctional behavior we see young people winding up participating in. And again, it just shows me how deep the man crisis goes all across the globe, because when I look at this case, this is the second senior citizen to go out here and participate in this kind of violence, and it just shows me how much worse the man crisis is getting all across the globe, because we have men who were not raised to value manhood or masculinity, or were never taught male survival skills, and this man, because he was not taught male survival skills, wound up taking the lives of people in their golden years and wound up making everyone miserable in his company. Now, if you want to learn more about what motivates beta males to participate in their dysfunctional and violent behavior, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also pick up The Man Crisis on digital format at other online booksellers and paperback at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to see me make more men's issues videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.